Optimism is nice if you can swing it, but you've got to be careful, because it can feed into the normalisation of Donald Trump, and he is not normal. He is abnormal. He's a human what is wrong with this picture. He sticks out like a sore thumb, and frankly, he even looks like a sore thumb. So giving him a chance in the sense of not speaking out immediately against policies that he's proposed is dangerous, because some of them are alarming.
Just some of Trump's promises: repeal and replace Obamacare, build a wall along the southern border with Mexico and get Mexico to pay for said wall, deport all 11 to 12 million undocumented immigrants in this country, including children, appoint a special prosecutor to investigate and potentially jail Hillary Clinton, temporarily ban Muslims and immigrants from terror-prone nations from coming into the United States.
Okay, stop. Just stop. Because it sounds like you're reading the to-do list on Satan's refrigerator. Which, of course, Satan no longer needs now that hell has frozen over. And while some are arguing that Trump might not have meant all those things, that leaves us with two devastating options. Either we just elected a president who didn't mean a single word he said, or we elected one who did. And it's impossible to know which one. Earlier tonight, he did his first major post-election interview, and he was asked about Obamacare, which, remember, he had labelled a disaster.
When you replace it, are you going to make sure that people with preconditions are still covered?
Yes, because it happens to be one of the strongest assets.
You're going to keep that?
Also, with the children living with their parents for an extended period, we're going to...
You're going to keep that?
Very much try and keep that.
Oh, OK. So get ready for a barely changed version of Obamacare called Trump Care, which sounds like a healthcare plan where doctors feel your breasts for lumps whether you ask them to or not. But by the way, don't get complacent that he is going to keep those aspects of Obamacare. He might change his mind on that again. Trump is like a magic 8-ball. Every time you shake him, he gives you a different answer. And sometimes the answer is just big league or that's somebody on my daughter, right? So we have to take all of Trump's promises seriously. And the truth is, they were not all universally bad. For instance, he ran on a promise to drain the swamp, cracking down on corruption and ending the reign of Washington insiders, which sounds great. So let's try and be positive for a moment. What are the early signs on that?
Some of the potential cabinet members that are being reported by CNN that are under consideration: Rudy Giuliani, Newt Gingrich, Chris Christie, Reince Priebus.
Right, so that's the longtime head of the RNC, a former speaker who entered Congress in 1979, a former mayor turned professional arsehole, and a man whose name is more synonymous with scandal than Shonda fucking Rhimes. That is so swampy, you're going to need to swap out Air Force One for one of those shallow-bottom boats with a big fan on the back. And the thing is, it actually makes sense for Trump to appoint people with significant experience in government. Until a few days ago, the highest office he'd ever held was on the 26th floor of a shitty building on Fifth Avenue. But some of the people he's bringing in are horrifying. His transition team includes people like Ken Blackwell, who has argued that homosexuality is a choice. And he's named Myron Ebell to lead his EPA transition team, making him a front-runner for administrator, despite this.
The whole case for global warming, I believe, is silly, and I believe the vast majority of scientists think it's silly. And therefore, I'm a little bit embarrassed that I waste my time on a silly issue.
OK, well, just first of all, the vast majority of scientists believe humans are contributing to climate change. And secondly, this man does not have a science degree. He wouldn't even be qualified to head the agency of baking soda volcanoes.